Hello, hey, welcome to Tyler with the K. First of all, happy Black History Month. If things go according to plan and I don't procrastinate, this video will be coming out on the day I'm filming it, which is February 1st, as in the first day of February. And why am I filming something? Why do I want to release something on the first day of February? Because this is my December and January wrap-up. That is all the books that I read in December and January. But before we get to that, two things. Number one, I just mentioned Black History Month again. Happy Black History Month. Just in case you forgot. I am currently uploading a video that I just filmed all about Black History Month. I recommended you 6 books to read during Black History Month. They aren't necessarily about Black history, but they do all star They all star Black people and are written by Black people. So that's cool. Nope, one of them isn't written by a Black person. Okay. Oops. Right, the second thing. Y'all like a video that I posted, I think it's now 8 days ago, which is the video that I filmed with my sister talking about my very favorite TV show ever, Degrassi, The Next Generation. My sister and I recently finished watching it. We talked about it and y'all like it. I said at the end of that video, if the video gets 10 views before 2 weeks is over, then I'd post the part 2. But the thing is, it literally already has, I don't want to give you false information, let me look it up, 65 views. And although that isn't maybe a lot for most people, that is a lot for me, at least when it comes to like actual videos and not shorts that I film. So that's really cool. Y'all really like it, so part 2 will be coming out next week. Get ready. I'm excited for it. I'm in the process of editing it, but yeah, just wanted to tell you that. But for this video, as I mentioned before, I'm talking about all the books that I read in December and January. I did not read that much, and that is partially why I'm combining these 2 months. At the end of the year of 2022, I didn't really feel like filming a video talking about just a few books, so I decided to wait and do this instead. I read 6 books in all, which is not good for me. I read 4 books in December and only 2 books in January. Hopefully, as I get reacquainted with like school, like a part of me is still in winter break, I will be able to read more. So yeah. But I actually made a sentence with all of the names of the books that I read through December and January. This is the sentence. Mosquito, if dinosaur are shadow, rise. No, I guess it would be Mosquito Land, if dinosaur are shadow, rise. That's so profound. I haven't talked about some of these books. I have talked about some of these books, though. I've talked about 4 of them. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them made it onto my least favorite / favorite books of 2022. Check out that video right over here. And yeah, the other ones I just haven't discussed anywhere, so I'm excited to discuss them today for you. So let's get started. I didn't write a script for this, okay, but I did take some notes before this video. So I think that'll be like my new format for like preparing for videos, because I feel like if I just do it all on the fly, I get frustrated and I have to edit more. So yeah. But anyway, the first book that is on this list is Mosquito Land by David Arnold. This is kind of an interesting case, because the thing is, I read this from December 9th to December 22nd, and then I read it from January 3rd to January 17th, because literally I left it on my bus through the winter break, so I wasn't able to read it through the winter break, which is so annoying. I wanted to finish it like during the first few days of winter break, so I'd be able to read more, and I just never got around to it because I had left it on the bus. So yeah, this book is okay. Wait, I just remembered something. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's cool. I actually already made a video for this because I think a format that I'm actually like experimenting with. I think I actually like this. Whenever I finish a book through the month, whenever that is, I'm going to make a video, best case scenario, on the day that I finish it, so I wouldn't have to think so much about my whole entire month at one time sitting down here at the end of the month. So I actually made a video already about Mosquito Land. Okay. So yeah, just we're gonna go to me whenever I finish this, January 17th, Kyler January 17th, and he'll tell you about what he thought about Mosquito Land, and I'll see you in a few short minutes, or maybe not a few short minutes. I'll see you eventually. The first book that I read in 2023 was Mosquito Land by David Arnold. I actually owe a little bit of my booktube success, I think, to this book, and this book only, at least partially, because this was the book in my, I think, most popular shorts video as of now, where I was like seeing a spoiler in a book, and like it was a TikTok, and it was over, or SZA's song Blind was over it, and like it was, I can see I'm blind. Go ahead and watch it if you like. But yeah, this was the book that I was reading in that TikTok. But this book is interesting. Did I like it? I don't know, because I feel like at the beginning I liked it much. No, I don't feel like, I know that at the beginning I liked this book more than at the end. I feel like this book is both too long, but also I feel like nothing happened in it. It definitely didn't help that I accidentally left it on the bus during winter break. I didn't read it from like January, 23rd to December 23rd to like January 2nd. So I guess maybe I just felt less committed to the characters because I wasn't getting exposed to them like on a daily basis or whatever. So that definitely didn't help. But I don't know. Like, it's pretty funny, actually. I think this is like one of the funniest books I've read, but I feel like they're just like some funny moments, but like the character isn't funny and like the tone isn't funny or anything. That's just the thing that I'm thinking about right now. Something that I realized like near the end of the book, they were mentioning characters where I couldn't even remember them. Like, there's a person named Caleb in this book, apparently. News to me, I literally forgot. Again, definitely mostly because of the break that I took from this book, but Ahab 2. I should probably tell you a little bit about the story, shouldn't I? This is a story about somebody named Mim Malone, who is taking a bus from something to Mississippi. No, she starts in Mississippi and she's going to Ohio. See, that's not good. I literally just finished this book and I can't even remember where it takes place. And she's trying to see her mother. Recently, her father has married somebody new and whisked Mim and her new mom off to Mississippi, and now she wants to visit her mom, so she literally goes on a bus to try to go to her mom, and like she calls Mississippi the place that she's leaving Mosquito Land, and that's how the book gets its title. It was interesting. I feel like I can I say that I never got bored? I don't think I ever did get bored. But like also I feel like it was too long, which is kind of weird, and I feel like that's never really happened. But there are things discussed in here which I think are important. But like also there are definitely books that do it better about I didn't even say them, about the topics that are in this book. I don't know. This is like, I'm sorry. You may feel free to leave at any point, because I know this is a little unconventional how I talk about books, but I'm just doing it because I want to. And also, that doesn't necessarily mean, at least in my case, that it's going to be formed and you're going to be able to make sense out of it, which is pretty bad, because like, shouldn't I be making content, which I think people understand? Perhaps. But, like, it's okay. It's okay to sometimes just just to talk about a book, just because you want to talk about it and not have completely formed thoughts about it. Would I recommend it? That's a weird question. I would not recommend it. It wasn't a nominee. But why was it a nominee? That's a question I like to ask after I read nominees. And this one, as with multiple books that I read over the summer, just didn't hit the mark. Speaking of books I read over the summer, even though it's literally the next year and summer was 6 months away and probably nobody cares anymore, I made a video, which is I think my most viewed non-Degrassi related video, talking about the books that I read during the summer. And a lot of those books are Numbing nominees. I think I explained what a Numbing nominee is over there, so please go check it out if you are interested, because I'm too lazy to talk about it right now. I also recently came into possession with a tool that I will definitely be using. Let me go get it. This is a reading journal from the booktube channel, A Clockwork Reader. She made a reading journal, and I have been like taking notes on my phone, like to keep track of everything, but this just puts it out much easier. I actually did not fill out an entry for Mosquito Land. I started it, but I never finished it, so I can probably fill that out like right now. But yeah, I have this thing that I've been doing. I guess it started with, no, I think it started with If We Were Villains, which I read last year, but where I've been taking a lot of pictures of different quotes that I like through the books. Like when I encounter them, I just take a picture of it on my phone, but I don't think that's very helpful. As in, like, I have a lot of pictures, and like I don't need to remember every single one of the quotes that I took a picture of, right? So maybe like at the somewhere in each video where I talk about a book, I can incorporate like at the end, maybe at the end of every single video when I talk about a specific book, or like after I talk about a specific book, even if it's not in its own video like this one, I could say like my 3 favorites quotes from the book. Could we do that? Let's do that. We'll add that. So yeah, actually give me a second to let me figure out my favorite quotes for this book. I'll be right back. Okay, suddenly it is 11:49 p.m. and I have school tomorrow, and I am still looking through the quotes, and I don't want to be still looking through the quotes, so I'm gonna stop now. And what I'll do instead is I'll include the quotes in the description below for each book. So I'll do that instead, so I can have a bit more time to think about it instead of in the actual video. But yeah, anything else I have to say about this book that's coming to mind right now? I guess I feel like this is kind of a similar format to a book that I read earlier, or 2 books kind of, Lily and Duncan, as well as A Heart and a Body in the World. A Heart and a Body in the World because both of the main characters are women going towards something in order to get, I guess some closure for something. Thinking about it more, I have 3 examples I'm thinking of books that are all Numbing nominees, where near the end of the book, the main character, or one of the main characters, realizes something about their parents that they didn't realize before, or they hadn't fully accepted before. And those books are Lily and Duncan, O.C. Daniel, and One for the Murphys. So yeah, what did I like about this? How about the characters? The characters were all fine. I feel like all of them were complex enough. I think it'll definitely take a reread, and it also took me like technically a long time to finish this book. I started this book on December 17th, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, was it December 17th? I wrote it down, hold on. December 9th. But the thing is, I did not read every single day from December 9th to January 17th. So, I think, yeah, just take like a read where I start it and then I finish it, and like I read every day or something. But also, I don't really see myself doing that, at least right now, specifically for this book. So we'll just have to leave it a mystery, I guess, if I like this book or not, if the characters were good or not. Yeah, the next book that I want to read for January is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. I finished Shadow and Bone before the new year. It was the last book that I read in 2022. And I was hoping that Season Star would be the first book that I read in 2023, but that didn't end up happening, clearly, so, might as well be my second. And, yeah, I will see you after I finish that book, or another book. Okay, so if you remember, the next word was if. And that belongs to a book that was on my favorite books of 2022, If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. Since I made a video about this, or at least talked about it in my favorite books, I don't want to talk about it for too long here, but this book is so cool. It's dark academia, fast-paced, I'm just reading my notes, fast-paced, engaging. There's like Shakespeare thrown in here. It talks about, I think, 6 or 7, I can't remember the exact number, seniors in college. Their college is an arts college, and they are part of the drama department, and they are so devoted to their craft. They literally reference Shakespeare in their daily speech. It is screaming pretentious, but I really like it. I've had some experience with Shakespeare, not that much. I actually had an idea a while ago where I'd read like 7 different Shakespeare books. I don't know if that'll fly, but maybe. I was really doing it for the alliteration, so I could do like 7 Shakespeare's scripts. But I have read Midsummer's Night Dream, Twelfth Night, Macbeth for School, Sonnets, and I was in Much Ado About Nothing in my freshman year of high school, so I was part of that production and I had to read it for that. So yeah, Shakespeare definitely holds a place in my heart, and that was cool, him being referenced somewhere in a book that I read. The title of the book, If We Were Villains, is actually from a Shakespeare quote. I can't even remember what it is. I think If We Were Villains is somewhere on my bookcase here. No, it's not. Where is it? There it is, If We Were Villains. I like the other cover a little better, the one with the bird. And yeah, this book is so cool. Maybe a part of why I've liked it so much is that, again, I guess, it's not a plot twist, but like a plot point that is like hidden for a while, kind of. Similar thing kind of happened with the book The Plot by Jean Hanf Korelitz, which also ended up on my favorite section of 2022. I guess, like, the plot twist for that book, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I like books better when I actually guess what's happening, which is kind of weird. Most people, I feel like, are the opposite. They're like, if I guess the plot, why would I like that book? If it's, like, predictable or whatever. Maybe I just, like, I'm proud of myself for predicting it myself, and, like, that's enough for me, but, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it for your villains. You should definitely go read that. If any of the books on here, I think you should read that one, I'd say. Okay. So, next we have Dinosaur Philosophy, which was also part of my favorite books. Don't have a copy of this. One of my sister's friends gave it to her, and I read it. Thank you so much for the person that got that to her. For her, that book, I wouldn't say it changed my life, but it made me, okay. Basically, every page has 2 dinosaurs having a 1-sentence exchange, and that's literally basically what every single page is about. But make it philosophy. I am interested in philosophy, I'd say. Last year and sophomore year, a lot of the books that we read were about philosophy. We read The Stranger, which I really liked, which may be bad that I liked it. I mean, it's kind of questionable. At least that's what people tell me. We read Demian, which I think has something to do with philosophy. I didn't really enjoy that one. We also read Macbeth, not philosophy. It'll take you, like, it took me an hour to read or something. I read it all on January 22nd. I read If We Were Villains because I forgot to tell you from December 1st to December 9th. But Dinosaur Philosophy took me one day, December 22nd. This is the only spontaneous read on here. I was not expecting to read it. I just opened it and I read the whole entire thing. Not in one sitting, but like basically in one sitting. It kind of gives me vibes of another book called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, which I actually have a copy of. It should be on my favorite section. It's not here, is it? Where is it? I don't know where it is. It should be in my favorite section. It's actually also, it was actually also the Barnes & Noble Book of the Year. Where is it? Actually, where is it? I'm kind of getting annoyed and worried. Where is it? Where is... So embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed. I have no clue where it is. Odd. Odd, odd, odd. But anyway, that book also has a few characters talking to each other, one-sentence exchanges. There isn't like that much plot, and yeah, there's actually an Apple TV adaptation of The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, and the Horse, and I'm actually planning on watching that and making a video about it, hopefully soon. I know the Apple TV thing, like, I don't know if it's considered a movie or a short, but I know that thing is like only like 39 minutes long, so I can watch it in like a sitting. And I want to make a video about it because it's actually Oscar nominated, so that is pretty cool. I should read the book. I think I'll read the book and then I'll watch the movie shorts thing, live action. No, it's not live action, it's animated, but I feel like I imagined it being an animated something, so that's really cool how they did that, and I'm intrigued, very intrigued. So yes, I am going to have to find the book before I watch the thingamajig that I don't know how to name first, so gotta get on that. Okay, so the sentence so far: mosquito land if dinosaur, and the next letter word is R, and that belongs to We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. One of my most disappointing books of 2022, unfortunately. I don't really want to talk about this book, because every time I talk about it, it makes me get a little sad. Since I had so high expectations of it. So you can watch that video instead. I actually made a video where I combined both my favorite and least favorite, so I think you can watch that. It's like 42 minutes in all. I originally released them in 2 separate parts, and then I combined them, but yeah. Okay, I guess I didn't really describe what I didn't like about this book in that video, so I wrote some notes. I might as well. Like, this book isn't memorable. I don't remember a single name of any character in that book. I barely remember any of the plots. High hopes were plummeted, I wrote. Plummeted down to the ground, maybe even into the Earth's core. But, yeah, I don't know. It made me roll my eyes, really. It made me roll my eyes. I feel like they didn't do this that much, but there's also like a trope that I don't really like when they try to humanize a bully. Like, somebody is so mean to the main character, and then they're like, oh, he or she has a father that yells at him or her or them. It's like, okay, that doesn't validate their actions. I don't think they really try to humanize him that much in this book, but like, I don't know. Like, the concept is cool. It is about... Oh, never mind. I think I told, like, the overarching... what it was about in the most disappointing books video, so check that out. I don't want to talk about it. I just said I didn't want to talk about it for so long. Ugh! The next word is shadow, and that belongs to Shadow and Bowland by Lee Bardugo. This is a pretty long video, but I feel like this is going to be the longest part of this long video. I haven't talked about this anywhere yet. Haven't made a video about it in the past. So yeah. Why I read this book, you ask? I read this book because season 2 of the Netflix TV show is coming out on March something. I can never remember the date. And I wanted to read the books again before the second season came out. What's interesting is the first season covered Shadow and Bone, the book, and the second season is covering both Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising. I have copies of every single book besides Demon in the Wood of the Grishaverse, and I'm currently reading Siege and Storm. This is what started it all. Funnily enough, as in it's not funny at all, I started the Grishaverse for the first time during 2020. I started the Grishaverse with Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I bought the box sets during quarantine, and then after that I read Shadow and Bone, which is bad because that's not how it goes chronologically. It goes Shadow and Bone, then Siege and Storm, then Ruin and Rising, then Six of Crows, then Crooked Kingdom, then King of Scars, then Rule of Wolves. So I started it out of order. Got lots of notes here. When did I read it, you ask? I read it from December 24th to December 26th, and then I stopped it for a few days, and then I read it from December 30th to December 31st. I actually have a video that I recently released, I think, this Friday. Doesn't seem to be that popular, and that's okay. But in that video, I'm gonna spoil it for you right now. I only finished one book in that video. The other book that I started reading, and I got like 100 pages, of more than 100 pages through, I think, is Siege and Storm. Check out the video for that if you would like. Yeah. Don't know, I may have just mentioned this, I can't even remember, but this used to be on my favorite ever book list. Ever. And honestly, right now, I already am calling it. I like Siege and Storm more than Shadow and Bone. I just feel like it's not bad by any means, but it's just not as good as Siege and Storm by any means either. Also, I feel like as you go through a series, it's natural for you to say, oh, this book is so much better than the other one, because like they build up on each other. But also, maybe that's controversial, because also I feel like if you love the first book, it's hard to top it, which was like my experience with a book that I'm thinking about, which I mentioned in my Black History Month video. So yeah, 2 books actually. Let me look at my notes. I say fantastic world building, favorite fantasy novel. I wouldn't say that. I have the same book in the Black History Month. I think I like that fantasy book more than this, way more than this actually. Like the Grishaverse, I have no problems with it. Like I don't hate it by any means. I'd say I really like it, or I like it, but like, yeah. Although it may take a reread, I feel like the world building is just really good. It seems like a real world. It's not overly confusing. The magic system makes sense. It's just so well crafted and so well done. Like the setting of it all and the characters, as well, are like well formed and they're all great. It's like the full package. Everything that I want in a book, really. That's not true. I don't know. I wrote it down. That's why I said it. Like, I can't think of any problems with it. The last time I said that about a book is Little Fires Everywhere. So, yeah. That was, like, well, I read that in October, maybe. I made a video about that. You should check it out if you're interested. Speaking of Little Fires Everywhere, while we're on the topic, before I switch topics, because this video isn't even supposed to be about Little Fires Everywhere, look out, potentially, for some new content about that soon. Whatever that means. I don't know. I feel like the end of the book was, at least Kyler when he wrote this a few days ago, was that the end of the book was a tad rushed, but it's not really a problem. Like after she finds out the thing, you know, if you know, then it's like, it's so fast from there. It's weird. I feel like I remembered the TV show more than the book, even though I experienced the book more recently than the TV show. I probably will reread this book, if I'm being honest, but like, it's not a favorite, but it is still good. And I'm definitely continuing with the series, come on. Gotta get to Rule of Wolves. It's gonna take me a while though. And yeah, I think the Grishaverse just improves from here, because as I said, Siege and Storm is already better. This is my second time reading the whole entire series. I'm only on the second book, but yeah. I feel like I get more invested as the series goes on, as I get to know the characters more and new characters are introduced. I'm talking about the Crows people, obviously. So yeah, I'm just excited. Okay. And finally, the last book, and the last word we had was Rise. This was a little hard to choose the word for it to end the sentence, because the last book that I read, Michael Vey, to Rise of the Elgin, technically starts with Michael. Like the title of the book starts with Michael, but I just thought I'd just use like Rise of the Elgin and use Rise. This is also a book that I'll be talking about like more at length comparatively, because I haven't talked about this anywhere. I have been reckoning about making a video of reading the entire Michael Vey series. What's stopping me from making said video is, first, I don't really want to film it. And second, I feel like I'm not good at commentary. But the big pull about me making a video is I recently bought the most recent book from the series from Barnes & Noble. The book is called The Parasite, and I still cannot believe this is actually a book. Like, there's an 8th. It's so interesting to me, because I feel like it ended on the 7th book. And I'm just really intrigued to see, like, what actually happened to this book. Like, every single time I see this cover, the first thing I think is like, is this actually real? But like now I bought it and it says the author's name, so obviously it is. But it just still kind of like shocking, I guess. Like when I found out it was actually a thing. But I'm excited to read it. I am on the third book now. Obviously, I just finished Rise of the Elgin yesterday. I want to say got the third book. I only read the prologue. I've only read the prologue so far, but yeah, I read the first book, Michael Vey, Prisoner of Cell 25, during the summer. I talked about it in my favorite books of the summer, not favorite book of the summer, my books of the summer video, which you can watch. I think that's like my second most popular non-Degrassi compilation video after the Degrassi video that I did with Kana, my sister. Okay, well actually that's not true. I did not talk about it in my books of the summer video. I talked about it in a video that has not been released yet, which is such a long video. I'm pretty sure it's going towards 2 hours long now. I had edited the entirety of it, but now I'm just in the process of rewatching it. But also, I kind of want to film more clips for it, so it's really a predicament. Was that a rhyme? That is kind of a rhyme. I mean, I said it a lot of times, and I said predicament. Tell me in the comments, does ent, int, and it rhyme? I don't know. But, anyway. Tangent. I remember a lot of it. This book series, I feel like, is the most fresh in my mind book series. Like, I literally remember every character's name. I remember specific plot points that happened. It's just like, it's right in there. And it's so interesting how much I remember, because I wouldn't consider this like my favorite ever series, right? But like, it's the series that has stuck with me the most. I only have 2 other series, I guess, on my favorite book list. I don't have Michael Vey's on my favorite book list, but like, book series that like I'll always remember that are on my favorite book list are The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer, I guess Semi-Swing and Solo by Cormac Anderson. I don't really think that they're considered like really part of the same series. And Awkward by Svetlana Shumakova, although recently I haven't been liking the books part of the Barry Brook Middle series. And also another one that comes to mind is Geronimo Stilton by Elisabetta Demy. That's another series that like really defines my childhood. I should make that a video. I'm sorry, I know I'm really like babbling right now, but I should make that a video. Books that like defined my childhood. That's a good idea. Okay. But yeah, would I consider Michael Vey a book that defines my childhood, you asked? Let's get back on track. No, I wouldn't. Because I feel like I was introduced to this book in middle school sometime. People were reading it in my class. My sister actually got the 7th book, either for her birthday or Christmas or something. Can't remember. But I'll be right back. Sorry, where was I? Oh no. Michael Vey, yeah. Middle school, people were reading it. My sister got it for Christmas. Yeah, Christmas or birthday, I can't remember. I'll ask her and I'll put it to the side of me. Which one was it? I don't know. Kana, you tell me and I'll put it to the side of me. Or not to the side of me. Maybe I'll put it under me. Okay. Right now. That is when it was. Oh, of course it was that time. So, yeah. Grammar is so hard. Words are so hard. Okay. There was multiple years, at least I feel like, between me finishing the series for the first time and me starting the series again during the summer. However, I remember so much of it. Maybe it's only the first 2 books. That may actually be a possibility, because my mom and I actually read the first 2 books together, so that may be a part of it, because yeah, that probably is it. Yeah, that probably is it. I just thought of that. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Next note I have is short chapter representation. This has short chapters, but it's still YA book. What a concept. I like short chapters, but also I don't, because it makes me feel like I feel like the book is like more juvenile when I see short chapters, but also I'm annoyed when there are long chapters. So it's really, I'm just contradicting myself at this point. The book is so dramatic, not so, but it's pretty dramatic. It's like, it's not scary, but it's like, oh no, evil person, I guess. I don't know. Like, not archetypal, but kind of archetypal, but like in the best way possible, I'd say. We got the nerd, we got the cheerleader, we got the big bad, all that I can remember, those are all that I can remember. Kind of gives me vibes of Percy Jackson, but like, if Percy Jackson had more friends, and he lived in the no. Let's say this is like if Percy Jackson had more friends, and it was sci-fi instead of Greek mythology. Yeah, this is like a science fiction novel, kind of. Because, like, kind of. All of the people's powers, which is pretty cool. I like this part of the book. Like, this concept that plays a big role in the book. Yeah, like, every person's power is connected somehow to, like, electricity in our bodies. And, like, I guess just parts of their bodies. Electricity is, like, magnified. I don't know if it's electricity or, like... Yeah, I think it is electricity. All of their powers are related to electricity. I'm pretty sure. Should you read it? Yeah, why not? It's a series that I feel like isn't that hard to understand. It bridges the gap between, like, juvenile and YA. Like, it's easy to understand, but it's also, like, not too happy, I guess. Yeah, those are all the books that I read. I feel like this video is a little dragged on, so I'm sure you're glad that I'm stopping now. Okay, so yes, thank you so much for watching. That was all the books. Those were all the books that I read in December and January. I admit, we started off rough. Only 2 books for January. But there's only up to go. I hope I'll be able to read more in February, and I am probably, hopefully, going to start a new book today. I'm not going to tell you what book that is, though. But yes, be sure to like and subscribe this video if you liked it. You should just subscribe. You should just... I don't want to give you a reason. I don't want to give you a reason. Can you please just consider it? Maybe, please? Please? Take a look around. Lots of videos. That took me longer to edit than, like, my most popular videos. Have, like, only a few views. And I'd appreciate if you gave those a chance too, because I promise it's the same me on those. Same person, just talking about different books, and I like those videos as well. So check out those if you'd like. Yeah, one more time, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'll try to film it on February 28th, my February wrap-up. Wait a minute, that means I have less days to read. So one more reason to stop this video and start reading. So, okay, bye.